everyone, Hungry Reader here. Hey, did you have a great Easter? How was your Passover? Are you all ready for Cinco de Mayo? Well, let's just skip past that because the holidays are officially over and now it's time to start thinking about Christmas again!
It makes you get your freak on!
In the year 1902, L. Frank Baum wrote The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. I can't find any confirmation that he was the first person to write a novel that was all about the story of Santa, but his is one of the weirdest. Whenever a movie or TV show gives an origin for Santa Claus, it always seems a little bit undercooked, doesn't it? It's always some sort of simplified thing like getting lost at the North Pole or whatever, or being raised by elves. Baum doesn't screw around. He makes it very clear that Santa Claus is a very special person, even from babyhood. In The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, Baum tells us that Santa, also known as Claus, was the only human child ever allowed to grow up in the forest of Burzee, a mysterious primeval forest full of fairies and other such creatures, including someone known as Ak, the master woodsman of the world. Now, Ak is serious business. As far as Baum's world is concerned, Ak, the master woodsman of the world, is basically God. Or at least one of the triumvirate. There's also Kern, the master husbandsman of the world. I think that means farmer. And Bo, the master mariner of the world. Young Klaus, or just Claus as they call him when he moves into the human world, lives such an idyllic life with the fairies that it's a real culture shock to move in with other humans and discover what lives of quiet desperation they lead. Claus vows to devote his life to helping children, the most innocent of humans. Although, if he'd grown up around other children, I think he would have a different idea. At first he's just the big friendly town babysitter, but then Claus invents the first toy. This is how bad kids had it before Santa. There weren't toys at all. He specifically says that they played with dust and pebbles. The joy that Claus brings to children delights all the other immortals, except for certain immortals who are more interested in what idle hands can accomplish, and they kidnap Santa and take away all his toys. There follows a terrible battle for the life of Claus and all his toys, one of the biggest, most Lord of the Ringsy wars ever fought in one of Baum's books. The climax is when Ak faces off against the king of the Awgwas, the horrible stone creatures, not to be confused with the gnomes, who orchestrated Klaus's kidnapping. But Ak raises his axe, get it? Axe, and chops him in two. Santa is once again free to expend his life in making toys for all the children, and that's exactly what he does, until he gets too old. That's when Ak and all of the other good immortals hold a big conference and unanimously vote to do something for Santa that they'll never be able to do for anyone else, bestow upon him something called the Mantle of Immortality. There's a lot of really interesting detail about this story that I left out because, well, I actually want to revisit it. Because it's not Christmas yet. This is such a Christmas story, but I kind of got to touch on it during Da Bomb. This might, however, be L. Frank Baum's best-known non-Oz story because it's been made into a movie. Not once, but twice. Once in the 90s with traditional animation.
I think that making toys for children is what I meant to do with my life.
And once in the 80s in glorious Rankin-Bass animagic stop-motion.
It is I, Master Woodsman of the World.
We owe no allegiance to you nor to any immortal.
That is true.
And as weird as it is to hear the King of the Awgwas talking with Panthro's voice, you gotta check this one out.
And keep your foot off that blasted samoflange.
What the fuck is a samoflange?
I have to do that again.